And welcome everyone. Today I'm gonna talk about a really cool hike that Mallory and I got to do. If you know the North Face logo, then you know this hike. This right here is called Half Dome. It's located in Yosemite National Park and is a pretty prestigious hike because you need to enter a lottery and get a permit to hike this hike. Specifically because of this part, which we'll get to in a second. To apply for said lottery, go to this link. The page will look something like this. There's two options. You can either do it 2 days before, or you can apply for a pre-season pass. But again, I'm not gonna go in depth into this. It's pretty straightforward on the website. We happened to be passing through Yosemite in the van, so just applied 2 days before and we got it. The chances are pretty low. However, we were a bit off season, so that helped us in the long run. All right, now to the actual hike. We got a campsite in Yosemite Valley, so we were able to park our van. We set our alarms for 4 o'clock and we're actually on the trail at 4:30 a.m. We were not the only ones on the trail during this time. It's a long hike, so if you want to be back by even dinner time, you need to leave while it's still dark outside. Sadly, you missed some views on the way up, but we were willing to sacrifice that as we had already done the mist trail the previous time we were in Yosemite. The 4,000 foot elevation climb kind of catches up on you, even in the early hours. We went late September and it was pretty cool in the morning, but you're still working up a sweat. About 4 or 5 miles in, the sun came up and yeah, we took this video. Look at that, it's light out.
Ta-da!
How you feeling now?
Feeling great. We're at Little Yosemite Valley. And crossing my arms, not because I'm grumpy, I'm just cold.
It's a little chilly. All of our sweat dried. And then we made it to this mile marker. I think that says, yeah, about 2 miles to the top of Half Dome. And this is when you do the last real intense climb before you get to the top. Side note, I love how Yosemite creates their hiking trails. I mean, they do have granite rock to work with, which is helpful, I guess. But you'll just be walking on a normal dirt trail and then all of a sudden stumble onto something like this. I just think it's a nice added touch. As we were getting higher and higher, we finally got a close look with the naked eye of climbers on Half Dome. We kept hiking and then we eventually got to what they call Subdome. So there's Subdome, the saddle, and then Half Dome. Let me tell you right now, if you ever make it on this hike, do not underestimate Subdome. At the base of Subdome, that's when you'll talk to the ranger, you'll show them your permit, you'll most likely get bombarded by other hikers who will ask you if you have any extra no-showers in your permit pass so they can climb up with you. A lot of people will do that. They'll sit right at the base if they didn't get a permit and we're just in the park anyways. And to be totally honest, if you're by yourself, you have a pretty good chance. But that's a side note. Then you'll start making your way up Subdome, and this is when the views really start kicking in and you can feel yourself definitely on the peak of a mountain. Once you summit that, that's when things really start getting real. The cables are in plain sight and you get to gear up for the last climb. I'll show you a few quick videos here, but before I do that, I'll say a few things. 1, gloves. Mallory used them, I didn't. I would say 80% of the people on the cables were wearing some type of gloves. The most common was a type of just your normal rubber gardening gloves for grip. It's really up to you. Not necessary, but helpful. I'll also say we got up, like I said, at 4, left at 4:30. The hike took us about 6 hours just on the way there, and we had probably only 6 or 7 other people on the cables with us while we went up. That was a fine number. I'll show you a video here in a second. On the way down, it was a different story. A few more things. The cables are about 3 feet apart. There are some stretches where there's not 2x4s, and that can be a little strenuous on your legs, but all that to say, if you're in any type of decent shape, you should be fine. It takes about 10 to 20 minutes to go up depending on how fast you do it. So once you reach the top, that's when you take a nice, big, long, deep breath. You accomplished it, you made it. And then just, yeah, we took in the views for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We ate some lunch. Definitely took more pictures than we needed. But when you may never make it up to this place again, it just seemed like the right call. It was pretty cool on the summit because everyone just seemed to be, understandably, in a really good mood. Everyone's chatting with everybody. And yeah, we had amazing weather that day. It was probably 75 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Zero complaints until the way down. And when I say complaints, it just got a little stressful. We didn't actually have any videos or pictures from the way down per se, just because that's when things got a little bit hairy. Going down would not be a problem if you were the only ones on the cables, but this is one of the bigger reasons there is a lottery to get permits for this, because it just becomes a little dangerous if you have too many people trying to pass on the cables with such a steep slope. But we made it down. We're alive, so is everyone else, I assume. I think I actually have a quick video here to give you some perspective from when we made it back down to Little Yosemite Valley. All right, back down into Little Yosemite Valley, and we just, here, look at this. So we were just up there, you can see, wow. It's busy now. And then, yeah, we hiked out. So the actual mileage is 8.2 up and then 8.2 down. The rest of the hike was great. I will say, depending on what shape you are in, you're gonna be a little sore, but Mallory and I both struggle with our knees. And it's just a lot of downhill any way you look at it. And I don't even necessarily have any tricks or tips. It's just gonna be hard on your knees. Be prepared for that. This is one of my favorite pictures I got of the whole day. Not actually, but she was struggling, but it was good. We took a slow pace. We made it down. We're getting passed by 10-year-olds. It's fine. We both have ancient knees. I don't know. It's probably because we're tall. Then we made sure to stop at Nevada Falls on the way back. Soaked our feet. And it's wonderful hiking back during the day because you get to see views like this. This is on the John Muir Trail on the way back. You took the mist on the way up, John Muir on the way back. And this is actually Half Dome all the way back here. So it gives you some perspective of what you accomplished that day. Finished up their hike, obviously took the corny picture with the trail sign, and made it back to the parking lot. And I will say, after the mileage from the parking lot to the trailhead as well added on, it was a total of 18 miles that we hiked that day. So pretty proud accomplishment. And to kind of wrap this up, if you ever get the chance to be in Yosemite during a time where you can apply or do a preseason application for the lottery, Mallory's not here, but she also highly recommends it. It was our favorite hike that we've ever done, and we've hiked a fair amount, so that's saying something. If you have any questions about the process or anything about the hike, we love chatting about this stuff, so hit us up in the comments. And yeah, hopefully you get to experience this one day too. It was something really special and a hike I will not forget anytime soon. All right, that's Half Dome. That was our experience, and that's all we got. See you guys.